up, guys? Pepman Matt Morrow, County Varsity, coming at you with Pepman's Players Part 3. As you know, we've been going through the underrated players that have played well in the pre-conference schedule and giving them some exposure, much deserved, and some shine for the way they've been playing. Tonight, we're going to focus a lot more on the defensive side of football, and we've got one more set of videos for Thursday night, tomorrow. All right, we're going to jump right into it. First one tonight is Tyrell Reed, West Meck defensive end. Wears number 9, and he really jumped out to me in the kickoff classic against Vance. There was 2 plays he had back-to-back sacks on, and he's just really impressive with his burst off the ball, his moves, pass rush moves with a rip swim. You even saw a little bit of a club, and he's played well, and I know his coach said some nice things about him on Twitter especially. And those are the kind of guys that we really like to highlight and focus on, that do the dirty work and get it done. And he does that for the West Meck Hawks. And it's a big reason why they're 4-1 so far this season. Jumping to a name that you probably had not heard is Chase Rapp at Independence. And I call him an athlete. He kind of plays both sides of the ball, and I watched his highlight film. And the big thing about him is he's always in the right place at the right time, and he makes the simple plays, and that really says a lot for a team that's still young and trying to learn how to win games. And he ran a couple of nice routes that I saw in his film. He plays safety also on defense, and he's always where he's supposed to be in coverage. Makes the right plays, makes good open field tackles. And that's what you need, that steadying influence for a team, that's trying to get better game by game. It's a good job to Chase. The next guy is Devin Smith, and this was a submission on the Carolina Varsity site. And he's a cornerback for Providence. And, I started watching his film, and if you remember last year, one of the things Providence had trouble with was the secondary. And this year, that's not the case, because they put this guy on the best receiver of the other team has, and he can shut them down. The big thing I see, he can play man and zone. In man, he doesn't get beat. He's always right there with his guy. In zone, he reads patterns well, and he's disciplined in his zone drops. He has good height, good ball skills, especially can get the ball up at the highest point and knock it away from a receiver. And he's not afraid to go up and tackle and run support as well. So he's a very good player. I enjoyed watching his film. He's definitely underrated. Stick at Providence again with Jack Wilks, inside linebacker for Providence. And, he has a lot of tackles on the year. And I watched his film, and, the biggest thing with him is aggressiveness. He's not afraid to get right up in there and fight through offensive linemen. His biggest thing he does well is shed blocks and make tackles. Good form tackler. And it looks like, just watching this film, he's a team leader too. And he's only a junior, so he's going to continue to get better. And that film was impressive. Sometimes when you watch inside backers, you don't see it in a live setting, but when you go back on film, this kid does a really good job leading that defense and making plays when you can make them in the open field and in the box area. Going up to Huff now, big defensive tackle Gio Pius. I hope I'm saying his last name right. I watched some of his film, and my goodness. First of all, his burst off the line is really, really good. That's the first thing that stood out to me, and he plays well with his hands. He sheds blocks. On one of his films against RG Kill, there was a screen, and he read the screen and absolutely obliterated the running back. It was really impressive. And, he's a really good, athletic, but big, good size defensive tackle. I think on the roster, he's 6'3", 295, so... Yeah, he's a legit man. He's definitely underrated because you haven't heard that name, but he plays really well for that Husky defense. Another kid, we actually talked to him in the preseason. That's Tavian Bird up at North Meck. I call him an athlete. He plays outside linebacker, and he'll play some H-back on offense for the Vikings. Biggest thing with him, against, I believe it was Rocky River, he had a safety that ended up being the 2-point difference in that game. Close win for North Mac, and a big reason why they're still undefeated. The thing that really stands out about this kid is speed. The outside linebacker position, he flies well to the football, tackles well in space. When they put him on offense and H-back, he gets him the ball. He runs relentless. I saw that on one of his highlights. It was just, nothing was going to stop this kid from getting to the end zone. And, excuse me, like I said, we interviewed him in the preseason. Well-spoken young man, and definitely underrated, and another big reason why that North Mac team is undefeated. We're going to jump over to West Charlotte, and then looking at linebacker Joshua Hollingsworth. And this kid was all-conference last year, and just looking at his film from this year, oh my goodness, speed, speed, speed. This kid absolutely flies off the edge on a blitz, and he's in the backfield in a second. Tackles well in space. I believe he blocked 2 punts against Garinger, which I don't care who you're playing against, that's still very impressive to do in one game. Excuse me. The biggest thing that stands out about him is just like I said with some of the other guys. He really plays well in space. He can lines correctly against different formations. Saw that a lot against Westmet. And you guys know they run a lot of different formations. He's always in the right place, kind of guiding people, putting them in place in the right time. And, everyone going to these spread offenses, you got to have guys that can run on defense. And this kid can really do that and do it well in space. Going up the Hickory Ridge, linebacker Connor Helm. Coach Jason Seidel actually sent me him for a player of the week one time. And, we met Connor in the preseason, well-spoken, respectful, but he's a team leader for that defense. And, he's your prototypical inside linebacker. Run comes at him, he's going to shed that block, lead block from a fullback or a guard, and go make the play. And, he's nasty with it. You can tell just when you talk to him. He's got that nasty streak that comes on when the lights come on. And, they're going to lean on that. And, they're undefeated right now, getting ready to start conference play. And, Connor Helm plays very well for that Hickory Ridge defense. We're going to jump over to Harding now. We're going to focus on 3 players for Harding. And I'm going to kind of talk about them together. Marcellus Harris is a safety for Harding. And he's one of the kids we talked to when we visited over there. He plays safety. And the biggest thing is, Coach Griner likes to put his secondary kind of on an island and give him a lot of responsibility in that aggressive defense they play. And this kid will come up and fill the alley. You go back to our highlights against when Harding played Huff. And there is a play where Huff runs the screen and this kid just flies up the alley and lays this guy out. It is unbelievable. You should check that out on YouTube channel, Matt Morrow, and just search his name, and it's an unbelievable highlight. He's a very respectful young man, and believe he's committed to Liberty, and they're going to get a steal. I think he's going to just blossom on the next level. Marquise Nelson, another safety for Harding. I'll tell you, he's really shown up the past couple of weeks. We've been there, and the biggest thing that I like about him, he's not afraid to come up and hit. He plays good coverage. When they go to a zero blitz, he's there on his man, and he can tackle really well in space. And especially at safety, you really need that to play that kind of defense Coach Griner does. Great personality. Love talking to him in the preseason. Does a great job being a leader in that secondary, making sure everybody is where they need to be. And it's a big, big part of that Harding defense. And last for the Harding Ram defense, Trey Corbett. He's the other corner opposite of Malik Dunlap that you hear so much about. But you would think teams pick on him because they don't want to go at, Malik. But they don't pick on him either. And I saw why the past couple weeks. He's right there playing great coverage. He can shed blocks. There's a play where screen comes at him on his side against a trip formation. He sheds the corner, gets inside, makes the tackle for a loss. He's always right there in coverage. He had a nice punt return against Mallard Creek last week. He's a very respectful young man. One of the kids that I had when I was there in 2014 when he was a freshman. Love to see the growth in him, and he does a good job for that Harding secondary. And the last one for tonight is TJ Cusick, safety at Butler we talked to in the preseason. When they played Mallard Creek, Butler got out to a lead because TJ Cusick had a pick six. He plays safety, reads routes really well, will come up and hit. He's vocal. He's a team leader. He also plays on offense, can play some receiver, and plays it well. I think he's playing a little more receiver because they moved some guys over there along with him and DeMel Hickman, I think, are also playing some receiver to help out on the offense too. So, two-way players, we always love those. And TJ is a really good player for Butler. All right, so that's day 3 of Pepman's Players. I hope you enjoyed it. Like I said, we have one more video coming tomorrow. And don't fret, if you don't hear your name tomorrow, we will continue to do this the rest of the season. So continue to play well. We'll continue to give the shine and the recognition you guys deserve. You played so hard. You practice hard. You put a lot of time into this. This is our way of giving back to you, saying thank you, and acknowledging the fact that you do a good job for your respective schools. Thanks for watching, guys. We appreciate your support.